The lecture hall was buzzing with the usual mix of chatter and rustling papers as students settled in for the day's lecture. The atmosphere shifted as Professor Adegoke, a stern-faced man with an imposing presence, walked to the front of the hall. He cleared his throat, silencing the room instantly.
Good morning, students.
He began, adjusting his glasses.
Today's lecture will be pivotal for your understanding of this course. Before we proceed, I have an important announcement. It is imperative that each of you secures a copy of my handouts. Failure to do so will result in carryover.
A collective murmur spread through the hall. This was typical of state universities where lecturers often used different methods to enforce their rules. Some based their assessments on class attendance, while others preferred assignments. There were even days when students arriving late were barred from entering once the lecturer was in. On such days, God help those students that it is not a day the lecturer decides to do tests. As the lecture concluded, the class governor, BC, stood up. Her face was flushed with urgency.
Everyone, please listen. 20 handouts are missing.
The hall erupted in confusion. How could someone steal handouts? BC raised her hands to quiet the crowd.
Please, if anyone has handouts that haven't been paid for, return them. I need to account for each of them to the lecturers.
Chinedu never want to miss an opportunity to challenge BC stood up.
This is your fault, BC. Your carelessness is costing us now. How are we supposed to pass if we can't get the handouts?
BC's face tightened with frustration.
We will investigate this matter. Meanwhile, anyone who hasn't received this handout, please see me later.
That evening, chaos descended on the campus. Students lingered around the school's car park, waiting for the buses that never arrived. Rumors spread quickly. Someone hinted the others that the transport workers were on strike because their chairman was murdered earlier that day. The news hit the students like a tidal wave. The union workers, mostly indigenes, had turned against their chairman, accusing him of overstaying his tenure. When he refused to step down, they killed him. Abimbola stood with her friends Nkechi and Sarah, feeling a surge of anxiety.
What are we going to do now?
She asked, looking around at the growing crowd of stranded students. Nkechi sighed, her face a mask of concern.
The distance from here to the main gate is long enough. And from the gate to town, it's almost impossible to walk.
Sarah looked around, assessing the situation.
We are stuck. There's no way we can walk all the way home.
The campus, usually bustling with activity, now felt airy and desolate. The absence of transportation loomed large, a reminder of their predicament. Many students, realizing there would be no buses, began to brace themselves for a long walk. Cars belonging to students drove past, some offering rides to as many as they could fit. However, most were already filled with friends who usually accompanied them. Abimbola and her friends watched as cars whizzed by, each one a missed opportunity for a quicker journey home. Much later, as the sun dipped lower in the sky, Abimbola and her friends stood at the edge of the campus, contemplating their next move.
Do we start walking?
Nkechi asked, her voice tinged with uncertainty. Abimbola looked at the long road ahead, her mind racing with the daunting task of walking all the way home.
Geez, I guess we have no choice.
She replied, though doubt lingered in her eyes. They took a deep breath, readying themselves for the arduous journey. The question loomed large in their minds. How will they get home safely now? Will they find help along the way? Tune in to the next episode to find out. Thanks for watching and bye for now.